All right, we've been listening in there to some of the women, congresswomen, who have been talking about their support for Hillary Clinton. But we want to turn now to Stephanie Schriock, who is joining us for a conversation here. She's president of Emily's List and a potential contender to chair the Democratic National Committee. What is this about? Do you have any comment on that? We'll get that right out of the way. Anything you'd like to confirm or deny right now?
The truth is, I am the president of Emily's List, and I'm president at the moment that we just nominated the first woman in American history to be a presidential candidate. I could not have a better job as president of Emily's List.
Okay, because I welcome you. If you'd like to make news, we are more than happy to have you commit the news here.
Oh, no, we're about to win in November.
Okay, so let me get your reaction to that moment that we just saw moments ago. The feeling in this room, certainly much different than what we saw, at least in the early part of the first day of this convention.
You know, I have been talking to so many delegates, so many Hillary Clinton supporters, even Bernie Sanders supporters as they were moving through their process. There has been a pent-up energy in Hillary Clinton supporters who want to have this moment of, like, there have been women in particular who have been fighting for this, for Hillary, for 8 years, for 2 decades. But there's also those women who couldn't get a credit card, who couldn't get their own mortgage, who remember those days, who just saw the woman become a presidential nominee. And I am telling you, the emotion is running high. There is pride everywhere. And I'm surprised about how emotional I'm getting about it.
There are, though, at the same time, if you look around the arena, I'm being told, and as I look back here, I can see some empty seats. I'm being told that some people who supported Senator Sanders have decided to leave, have decided to walk out. Obviously, they are still very much discontent about the way in which the process unfolded. What are your thoughts on how to reach those voters and get them to support Hillary Clinton?
It's a little bit of a process. You know, I have been on losing campaigns myself. In fact, I worked for Howard Dean's presidential campaign in 2004, and well, honestly, there's still some days that there's some pangs of pain. It doesn't always go away. But that being said, I proudly supported John Kerry that year. It maybe didn't happen the first day, but you just sort of go through that process, because the truth is, these Sanders supporters, these Clinton supporters, we are all Democrats. And more importantly, we care so much about this country and the direction that we need to go, which is forward, together, where we will make sure that there's an economy that works for everybody. And the stakes are too high. We are up against a Republican Party that is divisive and dangerous, and Donald Trump's rhetoric wants to break us apart. So the stakes are too high, and I have no doubts that we're all going to come together. 76% of Bernie Sanders supporters are already saying they're voting for Hillary. I have no doubts that by Election Day, we are going to, everybody and then some, are going to come out for Hillary Clinton and the Democrats.
And yet, Stephanie, we did see Bernie Sanders himself look to marshal his own forces here. He did it early yesterday in trying to speak to the support that he felt is needed for the Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine ticket. He was almost booed off his own stage. It felt like a truncated, rather dry run of a speech he gave last night, to much greater success, I think, for the candidate and the party. But it does still occur in the context of the revelations of the emails that were hacked by the DNC. What did you make of the evidence laid bare that the DNC had been actively agitating against the Sanders campaign?
Well, I really do believe that the DNC and the process that went through, the caucuses, the primaries, the activities in the states that ensured that people voted and people caucused, like this was a good, strong process. Hillary Clinton won the process. I think the debate we had as Democrats, it's been very good for the party. It resulted in the most progressive platform we have ever had. I count that as a win. I think the vast majority of people count that as a win. So I really see this as we are moving forward here. We got the apology. I think it was the right thing to do. But I saw it last night, and you saw it last night. As Senator Sanders stood here in this arena, you could feel the coming together. I actually was sitting with the Ohio delegation with some Bernie Sanders supporters, and you could almost feel the transition. I'm not saying it was like enthusiasm, but it was like, it's time and we can do this.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, if you were going to make a form chart like you would for a race, a horse race or something like that, here you've got on one side, you've got Hillary Clinton. She's been First Lady. She got very good reviews for her work in the Senate as United States Senator. She served as Secretary of State. And then on the other side, you have somebody who has never run for public office as a Democrat, who at one point said he was not a capitalist. I remember I got a lot of heat when I reported that, and some people from his campaign called me and said, you know, you've been a little hard on Bernie. And I said, well, I'm just quoting him. He said it. And they said to me, yeah, but he only said it once. But I guess the point I'm making, how was it that he was able to give her such a tough race? What was it? Did she not run a good campaign? Did he run an extraordinarily good campaign? What was it?
Well, there is a driving energy for sometimes something new. And Bernie Sanders, despite the fact of being in Congress for 30 years, was new to everybody who hadn't been looking at Congress. And I think that was something that was happening. But again, as I point to this, he did catch on. He brought in a lot of new energy. I think that's been great. I think this energy, particularly among the millennials, is going to be good, not just this election cycle, but for the Democrats moving forward in election cycles to come. So I think there was an opening. He was able to energize. That being said, at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton still got a lot more votes. She got a lot more delegates today. She won this election, this primary season, and I feel like we are a stronger party moving forward because of it.
Stephanie, one of the things that has been a continuing challenge for Hillary Clinton is when you look at the poll numbers, the people who don't believe that she is honest or trustworthy, those numbers have consistently been a problem for her. How does she turn that around?
Well, I think we're seeing it the beginning of that this week here in Philadelphia. When you go through all of this, this is a woman who has been under the microscope, and by the way, a microscope that the Republican Party has put on top of her since she's been in the First Lady in the White House. These Republicans have been worried about Hillary Clinton for a long time. They knew the best way to beat her was to try to destroy her character long ago. They've been working on it for decades, and they've had some success here. But we are talking about a whole lot of voters in this country. We all think we know Hillary Clinton, but the Hillary Clinton they're going to get reintroduced to in these next 3 nights is a Hillary Clinton that I've gotten to know, and so many of us in this hall know, someone who's been fighting for women and families, who's been a champion for Democrats, and who's been really working to find solutions for the economy of families in this country. And I think we've all sort of forgotten who she is in the mix of all of the politics of this. And you're going to see who Hillary Clinton is really. And I think folks are going to be like, oh, right. I really like her. I might even love this woman. She's great.
Yeah.